Welcome to The Explainer. And today, we're digging into a huge strategic shift at one of the world's most watched companies. Because if you listened to their latest earnings call, it's pretty clear. The Tesla we all thought we knew, it's gone. So let's just jump right in. On their last earnings call, Tesla dropped a bombshell. A truly shocking announcement that seems to fly in the face of everything that made them a success in the first place. They're literally walking away from the very cars that put them on the map. So to really get what's happening now, we have to take a step back and look at what they're leaving behind. And this is way bigger than just a couple of car models. We're talking about the foundation of the entire company. Really, the end of an era for the whole EV world. You see, the Model S and X, they weren't just cars. They were the proof of concept for the entire industry. The Model S was the car that proved an EV could blow past gas cars on everything, range, speed, tech. And the money they made from these cars, that funded everything that came next. It gave them the street cred and the cash to build the Model 3 and Y. And, well, you know the rest. They became the undisputed king of EVs. So here's the bottom line. Tesla is intentionally shutting down the very programs that launched them into orbit. And let's be clear, this isn't because they're failing. Nope. This is a choice, a strategic pivot. Which raises the obvious question, what could possibly be important enough to replace them with? And that brings us to the answer. This isn't just some small pivot, you guys. It's a total reorganization of the company from the ground up. They are literally tearing down the car business that made them a household name, all so they can go all in on autonomy, AI, and robotics. So get this. Elon Musk kicks off the earnings call by straight up changing Tesla's mission statement. He didn't talk about them as a car company. Nope. He called them a driver of an AI and robotics future. His exact words were a mission for amazing abundance. And that wasn't just some fluffy corporate speak. It was the setup for everything else he was about to announce. And this is where that philosophy gets real. Like, really real. That factory space, the lines that build the Model S and X, they're getting ripped out and converted. To do what, you ask? To build up to 1 million Optimus humanoid robots per year. Yeah, they are swapping their flagship luxury cars for an army of robots. And this is where you start to see the bigger picture click into place. It's not just about some robots wandering around a factory. This is a fully integrated logistics system. That means Tesla wants to own every single piece of the supply chain. Think about it. You've got the Tesla Semi hauling stuff across the country, an autonomous Cybertruck doing the local deliveries, and Optimus robots loading and unloading everything at both ends. The whole system is designed to run with almost no humans involved. And that same all-or-nothing bet on autonomy, it applies to their next big vehicle too, the Cybercab. Look at that quote. No steering wheel, no pedals. It's a massive bet that full self-driving will work. There's no plan B. And the crazy part? They plan on building way, way more of these than all their other cars combined. Okay, but a plan this huge, 1 million robots, a massive fleet of robotaxis, that only works if you have some kind of secret sauce, right? A huge manufacturing advantage. It all falls apart unless you've solved the really hard problems underneath. And that brings us to a breakthrough they've been working on for years, something they kind of quietly confirmed in that same update. So let's dig into that. Let's talk about the quiet announcement that actually makes this whole pivot possible, both financially and logistically. This is the hidden key, really, the one piece of the puzzle that unlocks the insane scale they're shooting for. So for years, Tesla's been plugging away at a totally new way to make batteries. It's called the dry electrode process. The whole idea was to completely change the game for manufacturing, to get rid of all the messy, toxic solvents and these giant power-sucking ovens that you normally need. And if they could pull it off, the payoff was huge. We're talking cheaper, smaller, faster factories, and on top of all that, better batteries. But actually making it work at a massive scale, that turned out to be one of the hardest things they've ever tried to do. For the longest time, nobody was sure if they could actually pull it off for the whole battery cell, in high volume. Well, here's the breakthrough. They did it. On that same call, Tesla confirmed they finally cracked the code. Both sides of their new 4680 battery, the anode and the cathode, are now being made with this full dry process. They've just solved one of the biggest bottlenecks in mass producing the next generation of batteries. That's a huge deal. Okay, so this laser focus on AI, robots, and energy, it's not just a Tesla thing. If you zoom out, you start to see this pattern emerging across all of Elon Musk's companies. And it kind of suggests that Tesla's big pivot is just one piece of a much, much bigger game plan. So let's zoom out. Let's look at the really grand vision here, because the bigger picture is where things get, well, cosmic. The future of AI in this new world might not even be on Earth. Not long ago, Musk confirmed it himself. His space company, SpaceX, has officially merged with his AI company, xAI, and the reason why is fascinating. He said it was a necessary step to solve a fundamental problem for AI, basically the physical limits of planet Earth. See it from his point of view, the insane amount of energy that AI data centers consume just isn't sustainable here on Earth. So what's the long-term solution? Move them into orbit. Up there, satellites get nearly constant sunlight for power, and they can just radiate all that heat away into the cold vacuum of space. As he likes to say, it's always sunny in space. And get this isn't just some sci-fi idea anymore. SpaceX has already formally asked the FCC for permission to launch a constellation of up to 1 million solar-powered satellites. Their purpose? To act as AI data centers in orbit. They're literally framing it as the only way to keep up with the explosive demand for AI. So you have this incredible collision of AI, robotics, energy, and space, and it's making everyone wonder, what's the endgame here? What is the final form that all these seemingly separate companies are building towards? Now that Tesla is morphing into an AI and robotics company, a lot of analysts are starting to see it as just one piece of a giant ecosystem, one that covers both Earth and space. You have strategists from big firms like Zacks and Wedbush saying there's a real chance of a bigger merger happening soon. Their argument is that a lot of investors aren't just betting on Tesla or SpaceX anymore. They're betting on Elon Musk himself and his whole vision. So, what's the big takeaway here? Killing off a couple of car models isn't just some simple business decision. It's a massive signal pointing to a much, much bigger ambition. Think about it. We started this explainer talking about the end of a car company, and we've ended up at the potential birth of a multi-planetary AI corporation, which, leaves us with one last question to chew on. What would that final, all-in-one company actually look like?